Rise and shine, it's a brand new day. Ken and Ken take the stage, ready to play. Weekdays at 10, the cars in the scene. Coffee in hand, they're living the dream. Question in their voice, got the whole town awake. Bringing fire to the mic, make no mistake. Shows in the corner, spitting out facts. Dropping truth bombs, ain't holding back. Ken and Ken in the morning, feel the heat. From 10 a.m. CST, can take a seat. We live and loud, that break in the mind. Ken and the world. Light up your speakers, crank up the sound. They're talking about life upside down. Opinions exploding like a sonic blast. In the studio, they're built to last. With passion and grit, they engage and ignite. Every single week, they're a force can't fight. From sports to politics,
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good morning.
How are we going to say you pop a fucking valve there?
Yeah, here you go. Hey,
Good morning, Vietnam.
that was what a great movie, right? God, that was a great movie. Damn you, Joe, for reminding me. I only gotta send this out to the Vike Queens fans, and then I've sent them. Man, going to a lot of different groups here this morning. There we go. Let me type in their little thing there, and hey, the Vikings now have the show. So yeah, it's a good morning. It's a Thursday morning. It's a football morning. There's football tonight, and Ken's in a committed relationship. Oh, and then there's more football. Oh, did we say the other thing? I'm sorry. Look at a blush.
This guy's got a weird obsession with my love life for some reason. Are you just mad that you no longer have a chance anymore?
Married guys with kids.
It's not just him, Ken. It's not just Kim. It's not just him, Ken. We both have a weird obsession with your love life now. Yeah. Ken spent the last 24 hours bobbing for apples. So
yeah, I mean, hey, we're just happy for you.
We're just happy for you. And we were, as a matter of fact, when we were off screen, we were like, I wonder why he's downplaying this. Like, is he afraid that we're gonna bust his balls? Like, what? Like, dude, that's super gay that you're spending all this time with a female. Like, it's like, no, dude, of course. Like, we're gonna be happy for you, dude. I'm married. Ken's married. Like, join the club, buddy.
Is once it gets to that like super personal type of stuff, I'm relatively a private person with it. Yeah, and that's still quite a few steps away there, guy.
No, it's never that far away. The ring is never that far away.
Yeah.
Just wait till she brings it up. It'll be a few steps closer really fast.
Yeah, really.
Oh, believe me, I learned that lesson before.
She's gonna start dropping hints, like, she's gonna leave like a Zales catalog on your favorite comic book. Like.
Yeah.
Or you'll have the conversation. It's like, where are we going with this? Like, what exactly are we? Like,
or hey, when we get married, are we going to go to Lambeau to see the Packers play?
Yeah, exactly.
I was going to say that you might be able to start a conversation there.
So I mean, there'll be little things like that, and other little things. The next thing you know, it's 10 years later, and you're going on an Alaska anniversary cruise. So it happens. Hey, look, I mean, Bill got married last year. I mean, it happens. Some of you guys finally figured out and get married.
Yeah.
Carrico, I'm still holding out hope for.
I don't know.
Or how about, can we get cocaine icing on our wedding cake?
It's fucking sold right there.
I knew you were the one.
Or Joe, when they start merging certain accounts.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, we got our own dispensary joint account together.
All right, fucking A, I guess sign me the fuck up.
Yeah, it's not so bad.
You want to know what the best part is? She don't smoke or do nothing.
Oh, really?
Huh. Does not give a fuck about me doing anything though.
When you become the emergency contact number.
She'll probably have to be mine first.
Speaking of emergency contact numbers, oh wait. Today, what's Billy got? Today, back in 1986, Mark McGwire hit his first home run, just tossing that out there. Actually, that's when, hey, Billy, if I remember correctly, that's when he was with the Bash Brothers, right? That was him and Canseco, right? Because it's Canseco time. That's Bash Brothers period. Wow, Billy going back. Look, he's a Hall of Famer for a reason, is Billy. Oh, yeah, you didn't know? Billy's in the Hall of Fame. The Tailgating Hall of Fame. But he's in the Hall of Fame nonetheless. Are you in the Hall of Fame? I don't think so. That's wow. And we're doing baseball. That's even better. I mean, come on, Billy, give me a football one. No, that's pretty cool. McGwire, that's all the PED era. But the Bash Brothers, man, I remember that. Woo. Canseco McGwire, that was fun back in the day.
They beat Will Clark and my Giants in the World Series.
Oh, I remember that. The sub. Yeah, I remember that series too with the earthquake and everything.
89.
Yeah. Morning, Eric.
What's up, buddy?
There you go.
Ken, you're getting some marriage advice.
Get rid of it.
No. She doesn't do any of the drugs. She does drink, but she doesn't care if I do.
That might change as the relationship gets more serious.
Yeah, no. Her father's an old school pothead. She grew up with all of us.
Oh, that's cool.
What's up, Pink Pony Club? A few more weeks. Packers are 0-1. Oh, my.
Who is this Paul Jones dude?
He's a Lions fan that's thinking that they have the best offensive line, the best coaches.
Yeah, that's weird.
It takes all kinds, man. I like I like the Kool-Aid fans, and I say the Kool-Aid fans not as a slam, but like the guys who just drink their team's Kool-Aid. There's nothing wrong with drinking the Kool-Aid and having like all that faith in your team. Yeah, good morning, Fugger. We say fuckers here, JB. We don't do the Matt Wright Fugger thing. But Matt, if you're watching, you can come on and do it all you want on our show. I mean, I like the Kool-Aid guys. They're look at. I love they have that much love and devotion to their team. That their team, they are so laser focused on their team that everything is great. I love that.
Yeah,
sport.
Eric, I stopped caring about Madden a few years ago, and tonight at midnight, the proper game is coming out. Mafia Old Country.
I stopped playing console games probably decades ago, but that's another story. But I like the guys who drink the Kool-Aid and have all that devotion for their team and everything else. And I like the guys who are like always pissed off at their team too. Like no matter what they do, it's never good enough. I like that dichotomy of the fan base, and it's enjoyable. It's fun to watch them. I mean, come on.
Hey,
yeah.
Real quick, I just wanted to throw out there. I don't know if Justin May, the rapper, is watching. Justin May, the rapper on YouTube, is watching. But I'd like to send him a special. I'd like to send him a special invitation to come on the MMA Maniacs show next week.
Yeah.
Invitation's open, buddy. If you want to come on, just get in touch with Ken, the Packer fan.
Now, when you get to fans like that, and every team has them, be it Bears, Packers, whoever, or Lions. Those guys, I'm like, I mean, dude, it's not the game. Being a fan of a team is not so diehard. You need to like threaten fist fights over it because a fan of their team disagrees with your point of view. But speaking of disagree with points of view, Trey Hendrickson, like how I segued that. Trey Hendrickson still disagrees with Cincinnati's point of view. Now, look, from all understanding, the money is right. But as normal, it seems to be the thing these days, the holdup is the guaranteed. So I know we were talking about all these guys who need to sign contracts, the hold-ins and whatnot. I think Trey Hendrickson's is pretty close to done. I think he gets done in a week or two. I think he's there for the season. I think they figure it out. Trey Hendrickson will be with Cincy. The money is not the issue. It's going to be the guarantees, and I have a feeling that they'll probably meet somewhere in the middle of where they are right now, begrudgingly for both. Like neither is going to be happy with it, but that's what they're going to end up doing.
Well, you know what they say: A good deal is when both sides walk away unhappy.
Yep.
So it might be the best thing.
And in the other big deals, Micah Parsons. Yeah, there's more news on that. Since
He's
he demanded
gone.
the trade, his representation, himself, or anyone with him, has had zero contact from the Dallas Cowboys.
From the Dallas Cowboys or with the Dallas Cowboys?
Well, in terms of a contract, there's been zero discussion.
Ah.
Zero.
Because, like, if you said he
Jerry
had zero
Jones is not
contact from the Cowboys, that's interesting because it's like
Yeah, Jerry Jones and him. There's been no words with Jerry Jones involved there.
I'm telling you, man, Micah's on his way out. Vegas welcomes you, buddy.
Yeah, Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons have not spoken at all.
In fact, Vegas doesn't just welcome you; Vegas beckons you.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams do. That situation, man, is just. I mean, look at though. In this case, I mean, like, okay, like Luke is always on the side of the player, right? It doesn't matter what the guy does. It seems Luke is always on the side, and I get that. I respect that, and I too am for the most part. And in this case, I'm like, I am 100% on the side of the player in this case because, like, Micah versus any other player that we've seen with like big contract demands and everything else, besides the fact that he actually does it on the field, was like so unselfish about how he's gone about his contract. Like, get my teammates paid, get the guys that we need around me paid so we have a good team. Like, he got it right. He put the team ahead of his needs, but said, "Look, I'm fine with doing all this good stuff and waiting, but just take care of me." And then when it came time to take care of him, they were going to take care of him. I don't blame him. Like, you see people out there talking, "Oh, Micah just needs to shut up and sign the contract." Blah blah. Okay, in this case, no, Micah like put the team in front of him for a while and could have gotten more money, and he did it. And he's like, no, because what's the point of me making all this money and us not having a team at all? I
have a theory about that.
Yeah,
I think Micah, and just hear me out on this.
No, it was Paul Jones' comment I was laughing at.
Oh yeah,
the weather's like the Cowboys today, peaking in the 90s. Okay, go ahead, Joe.
Hey, that's a good comment.
That's great.
So I think Micah is just too unselfish for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I think if you look at it, like, look at Dak Prescott, right? When he got his big contract, it was like there were other guys that needed to be paid, but Dak said, "No, I'm going to need the $60 million a year." And Jerry's like, "Okay," and he gives it to him, right? CeeDee Lamb, he wasn't even at his 5th-year option yet, right? And he's like, "I need to get paid," right? And Micah stepped aside and was like, "Hey, go ahead and pay CeeDee because I know when my time comes, take care of me," right? So CeeDee gets paid. Then Micah, because he was unselfish, I think that kind of rubs Jerry the wrong way. I think Jerry likes guys like Dak who are like, "No, fuck them, give me my money," right? Because that's how Jerry is. He's like,
"That's what I was just about to say." Is that maybe it's reminding him of him, and that's why Jerry pays these guys because it's that's how I'd act if it was me, so I can follow along and this guy's just a rube and he's going to do whatever I want as long as I promise to pay him later.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, thank you, Billy, with today's football history. Today, in 1986, the New England Patriots traded wide receiver Ricky Sanders to the Washington Redskins, HTTR. There is our football history moment brought to you by Billy Defense Guy Flores, 1st and 10 tailgating in the Hall of Fame. You like how I did that? That was good? All right. I heard the Raiders are having a problem with Geno Smith fumbling issues. It's practice. Honestly,
I haven't heard that. And going back to your other comment, yes, I still think you're crazy for thinking the Giants are going to be good. Can you name me something that's happened since the last time I said they were going to suck that suddenly changed things?
Well, Joe, they had practice, and they looked good.
Oh, that changes everything. They're winning the Super Bowl.
I mean, look at it. Here's the thing, though, and this is what's scary going back to Micah, because I agree with you. I agree with Joe and Ken. I agree with both of you on your takes about, like, he's too nice for them. He's a team guy. I could actually, and this, I'm going to get nothing but grief for this because the Bears fans are going to go stupid crazy on it, but because of that, I could see a scenario where the Bears are able to afford him now. Because I could see Mike saying, you know what, Jerry, yeah, I'll take on the Bears. And look, the compensation for him has never been the issue. If it's 2 first-round picks, I don't think the Bears will not bat an eyelash to get Micah Parsons for 2 first-round picks, because really, I mean, that's your other edge for the next 3 years minimum with Montez Sweat while he's under contract. That locks the edge down for the next 3 years in Chicago, right? The first-round picks, and you're pretty much good everywhere else, and you can use your second, third, whatever. Give up 2 first-round picks for Micah. I think any GM in the league would be willing to pay that price, especially if you figure when you add him, you're at least a playoff caliber team at minimum, right, at that point. So they're giving up like a 23rd, 24th, 27th pick. Okay, whatever. I think, though, the problem like where the Bears had with Mike is, and I've been saying this, like, dude, how are we going to pay him next year? Right, because of the cap. But when you hear Micah and you look at Micah and you're like, he gets it. He'd be like, all right, look it. I can come here and maybe win a ring, and am I going to get 40 mil? No, maybe I only get 35. But the extra, not getting that extra 5 mil, does it let me have a better career on a better team? Like, I think that's more of Micah's thought process. Yeah, he's like 35 mil. He's like, dude, when I was in college, I was lucky if I had ramen noodles every day. I mean, like most college students, right? Because remember, he didn't get NIL money, right? He was like every other college student who was broke. He was like, you know what? 35 mil a year is still freaking my family's set. So, I mean, I want to get paid what I'm worth, but at the same point, and I think it's more Micah's mindset. Like he's, but with the Cowboys, I understand where he's being, because with the Cowboys, I would be a little bit more of the hard line, because like you were made assurances and promises. And when it came time for those assurances and promises, they broke that promise. And then when you're looking at going to other teams, it's like, okay, yeah, like, yeah, you could trade me to the Bears, but like, how are they going to pay me? And he's like, you know what? I'll just, because, the Bears aren't going to trade for him unless they know they can sign him, right? I mean, no team is. So, when he talks to the Bears, for instance, they're like, look, we can only give you 35. That's all we can afford, based off this, that, and where we're going with this team. I can see Micah going like, yeah, okay. You're being upfront, you're being honest, and you're going to pay me a good salary that's fair. As long as it's within the fair realm of compensation, not like it's a low ball number. But we'd say, hey, we can't give you 40, but we can give you 37. But then, we can maybe do this, that, and the other. I could see Micah going for something like that with a team that is like that. Or then, of course, you've got like Raiders, like the Raiders, where they've got all the money in the world to pay him. The Raiders, if you think about it, they could make trades for Micah and a certain wide receiver out of Washington and pay him both big money and be okay.
Yeah, the problem wouldn't be the money. The problem would be the draft compensation.
Yeah.
We'd have to give up our next 3 firsts, and I don't want to do that, because we need a quarterback at some point. But I mean, does anybody here honestly think if the Raiders were somehow able to land Micah Parsons that they're not a playoff team at that point? Does Max Crosby and Micah Parsons together?
I think your defense, you become almost not. Well, you become. I don't want to say become a Cleveland situation, because you're not as jacked up offensively as they are, but you become a Cleveland situation in terms of you'll have a phenomenal defense, but it's going to be your offense is the question, right? So you'll have a great defense, but how good that offense going to be? And that's probably a fair question, because okay, yeah, you've got Geno, great, you've got at least one good receiver, okay, but to the rest, and you've got a good tight end, but to the rest of the league after that, it's like, is this the offense going to put up numbers? So, and that's probably a fair question at this point, right? So I think that's where you end up if he goes to the Raiders. Now, if you get Scary Terry and him in some weird scenario, right?
I won't be seeing you for about a month.
Well, now you've got a little bit of both going on. So that would definitely make you more of a playoff contender in that division, which is a tough division right now. But yeah, I mean, Mike is going to go. I don't think Mike is going back to the Cowgirls. And remember, that star in the helmet is not a logo; it's the rating.
Yeah, especially for any iteration of that team past the 90s.
Well, Ken, whenever you're vacuuming your layer there, if your vacuum just stops working, slap a Cowboys sticker on it. It'll suck again.
I'll make sure to let the old lady know that.
No, but I do think questioning the offense is fair, but
Yep.
there's like we didn't even talk about Genty at all because we don't know, right?
We
like
don't
what
know,
he's going to be. Like, but if Genty turns out to be like anything close to what people are projecting him to be, then that bodes well for the offense.
It does. But I mean, people are still going to have that. If what you got, Mike, automatically you're going to get respected for your defense. They're not going to respect your offense, so your offense shows it, and that's part of it. Like if Genty has to show it, they have to have another receiver step up. They have to show they're more than just Brock Bowers.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I don't mind that. I don't mind the offense having to prove it. But getting Micah, I think definitely it ups their win total. Having Micah and Max Crosby together ups their win total for sure.
Oh yeah, because they're going to kill some offenses. They're going to kill some offenses with that defense. I mean that's a situation that Cleveland's in. Like people.
And there's a guy on our offense that he's a rookie, so I don't have like the high in the sky apple pie hopes about him, but I will say like he's getting a lot of hype, and like so his name's Dante Thornton, the receiver out of Tennessee. I know Broski how he feels about Tennessee receivers, but this guy also played at Oregon, so he actually does know how to run routes. There's been a lot of hype about him, dude. Like people are saying that he has a chance to be really good. Not just Raiders either, not just the Raiders camp, but like the press that are covering the Raiders training camp and stuff. They're saying like this dude is really impressing.
I think the Raiders are going to surprise some people, but like I was going to say, like we all talk a lot of shit about Cleveland, right? We do. I mean, because dude, okay, 50, the roster is going to be Garrett and 52 quarterbacks because they just keep signing quarterbacks, and we all laugh at Cleveland because they have 6 quarterbacks on the roster right now. It's like, really, dude? I mean, and they've done some questionable things offensively in the management department of bringing players in, letting players go, whatever. But their defense is freaking beastie, right? They've got a good head coach. I mean, they have a really good head coach in Stefanski there. He is a good head coach in a bad situation, GM-wise. But we all talk a lot of smack about them, but they're going to win some games just because they have a good defense. And if you add Micah to the Raiders, even if their offense sucks, they will win games because of that defense. So, I mean, I think, Joe, that's where you sit at. You'd be like Cleveland, but better because I think you have better offensive pieces than Cleveland, and your team is run better than Cleveland right now. But, this has to happen.
Speaking of Stefanski, I think he's on the hot seat this year, man.
Yep.
Which doesn't surprise me because, Cleveland doesn't know what to do with good things. Like, I agree with you. I think Stefanski is actually like a decent coach, but I just think you're never going to get the Browns to win. Like, as long as that ownership group and GM group is in place, you're never going to get them to win.
So, talking to some Browns fans last night, or last couple days actually, a lot of Browns fans think that Stefanski's safe and the GM is going to go. But the problem with that is GMs want their own head coaches, as we've argued and said from time and time again. And the problem is Stefanski. Like, remember last year, I was hoping the Browns would screw up and fire Stefanski so that he'd be in contention for the Bears job. I mean, Stefanski, if he gets fired, he'll find a job pretty darn quick. He is a good head coach. The players respect him. He gets the most out of that roster every time. You can't say that the Browns don't fight for him because you can see in the games they do. He's a good head coach. The problem is his GM sucks. And they've got a pretty good ownership group who got suckered into, okaying their GM's wishes for Deshaun Watson, because we were talking about this last night. Had on JB's show on the roundtable, we were talking about this last night. Had the Browns not gotten rid of Baker, we might be talking about them every year as being a Super Bowl contending team, the way they were trending and going with Baker. And then that GM convinces the owner to let him sign Deshaun Watson for $250 million guaranteed, right? And to kick Baker to the curb. And what happens after that? The entire offense falls apart. And they haven't been able to get it together since. But with Baker, they were consistently trending upwards. They went from not winning any games to winning some games to going to the playoffs and winning there. I mean, Baker resurrected that with Stefanski, and it's crazy. And like, a lot of people have this take right here. Coach Stefanski is not getting fired. I want to agree with it, but then the reality of it is, even if he doesn't get fired and they hire a new GM, I don't think he lasts that long, because the GMs won't, unless they all of a sudden start winning games. If that new GM takes over and they don't make the playoffs that first year, that GM will fire Stefanski.
At this point, that might be the best thing for Stefanski. And on a side note, I just want to say Deshaun Watson should be in jail, but not for what you think. He should be in jail. He should be in jail for embezzlement, because he stole $250 million from the Browns organization.
Now, there's another head coach who could be on the hot seat, and that's McDaniels down there in Miami. And I love his press conferences. But I can see a situation where they switch jobs.
Yeah, that's the one that I don't fully understand to a degree. That he's proven more than a few times there down in Miami that he's a good head coach and good for the team. It's just he's had the unfortunate happenstance of having a quarterback that's brains are leaking out of his ears.
Well, and I love his press conferences are great. He's great with the media. The team respects him, but his problem is his quarterback has great numbers. And look, and actually, his numbers are good, but here's the problem with them. When the game's on the line, you can count on him throwing an interception. That's the problem.
He's thrown some of the best looking footballs I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And he's also thrown the absolute fucking worst passes I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, but I can see a situation where he gets fired, Stefanski gets fired, new GMs are brought in both teams, and they basically switch jobs.
I was going to say, that's why constantly, whenever we're talking about Tua, I make the Chad Pennington comparison, because I swear to God, they're the same guy.
Well, last year, Mike McDaniel looked like he was hanging out in South Beach too much. I like the guy, though. He's good. He seems like a good coach, but yeah, Stefanski, I feel bad for him. Now, look, there is some Lions news that broke yesterday or this morning, early this morning, 9 a.m. There's an article that just was posted. Lions cornerback Ennis Rakestraw is undergoing shoulder surgery, so he's going to miss significant time this season. He's the second-year player for the Lions. They drafted him to.
Man, Eric's just out here taking out Lion players left and right.
Yeah, I mean, they just lost. Dude, I mean, here's the thing, man. With Detroit and their fans, and JB, please don't be mad, but God, it seems like if there's one trend that's continuing that they don't want to continue, it's that injury trend from last year. And what is it with the Detroit Lions that they get so many guys injured? I mean, now it's almost at the point where I'm asking, what is it with their program that's wrong?
I think they're probably piping that Flint water into the stadium.
Now, I'm going to assume, definitely a Chargers fan. Hey.
Oh, Bolts? Oh, my God.
See, I like your head coach a hell of a lot, and I think you guys won in the division this year.
I mean,
I just want to say, hey, Nicholas, congratulations, dude. There is a Charger fan out there.
I mean, but
hey, leave them alone. There's 10 Charger fans.
Detroit last year had all the guys on IR. Now they're dropping like flies again. This is the second guy they've lost for basically the year or significant piece of the year to injury. I mean, my problem with the Lions right now, why I wouldn't feel comfortable saying they're going to be division champs again or anything like that, is dude, I don't think they can stay healthy for the season. I don't think they can stay healthy. That's like, what is up with Detroit? I get it, injuries happen in football, but dude, you guys have been clipping them at a pretty high rate, and now you lose. Detroit's going to have an interesting year. Not only did you lose guys to retirement, free agency, losing coaching to promotions and other teams, you're still dropping players to injury like wildfire. What is wrong with your strength and conditioning coach?
Need to go get Deuce Gruden, guys.
I mean, to me, it's like, if I'm a Detroit fan, I get all the hype on your team. You should have that hype. But I'd be asking questions like, what's up with the strength and conditioning coach in Detroit that we have football injuries happen? That's fine. I get that. But the Lions seem to be disproportionately getting injured to other teams.
And no offense to JB, because JB is a realist for the most part. But I gotta say, like, a lot of these Lions fans, it reminds me of that meme where that dog is in the house that's burning down, and he's like, "It's fine, everything's fine." Like, they just don't want to acknowledge like how injuries can affect the team. Like, you know what I mean? They're like, "Oh, it's fine. We lost our second round guy last year. The second year player, he's got shoulder surgery, but oh no, it's okay. Somebody will pick up the slack." And it's like, no, dude, like, injuries matter. Like when Christian Wilkins got hurt last year, I was like, oh shit, and then Max Crosby was playing hurt the whole season, and I'm like, oh shit. And then half our defense went down. I wasn't like, oh, this is fine, we're still gonna be good. It's like, no, dude, like, you're in a house that's on fire. It's like, damn, dude, it's time to think about jumping out a window or something.
Yeah, and then Christian Wilkins was diddying players in the locker room.
That's a whole nother can of worms that I don't want to open.
and even Brent's like, yeah, there's got to be something because we're way over the NFL average for injuries.
Are we going to say?
And Brent, to be honest with you, that's like, if I say the Lions are going to end up in the basement this year in the division, part of that factor is like, you guys just, I don't know what's up. You need a new strength and conditioning coach because
that's what I was going to say there, Ken. Is I think you hit the nail directly on the fucking head with the strength and conditioning thing, because Green Bay was having a bitch of a time with injuries there for a little while. We switched the strength and conditioning coaches, and it seems we finally got the problem fixed. Now, granted, you're still going to have injuries because, again, it's football, but it's not a fucking insane amount of them anymore. Fucking broski.
I mean, who needs a Dorn daily comment when you get that bottle? Honestly, that's got to be. If I'm a Detroit fan right now, like, look, it's still yours till someone takes it. But for some of these Detroit fans, Justin May, the rapper on YouTube, say his name correctly. I can understand why they're getting. I can't understand why they're so ardent about how great their team is when, dude, your team is still dropping players like flies. Mm-hmm. Like, it's still continued. What's up with your strength and conditioning coach? Like, for me, that's the biggest problem that team has. Besides the fact that they lost their starting center, right guard or left guard? He was the one who left. It was a left guard, right? He went on free agency for them. You lost two of your starting linemen. You lost your offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, a lot of your other coaches along the offensive and defensive side. And you still have a crap load of injuries, guys coming off injury, which, like Hutch, is he going to be the Hutch? I mean, look at the good thing about Hutch's injury, which has nothing to do with strength and conditioning, thank God, for this argument, is, it was a clean break, so he should be okay. But is he going to be okay? Is he going to be is he going to be a half step slower? We don't know yet until the games get going. And with all the injuries they've had last year and continue to have this year, what's up with? There's something up in that program.
I've been saying it since before the draft. I've been saying, like, there's a realistic scenario where the Lions finish in the basement. And, Lions fans didn't want to hear it, and they're, they want to put their fingers in their ears, but
hold on. I know a Vikings fan that their fan base dresses in drag isn't talking about fucking Packer fans being weird.
I mean, Broski, if you buy into Broski's argument, right, which he's got data to back up, right? that Holmes like drafts and signs guys who get injured a lot, then your strength and conditioning coach needs to be probably one of the best ones in the league. It doesn't look like you've got that in Detroit right now. So for me, like one of the other big questions for Detroit is, can they stay healthy? I mean, right now they can't even get to their first preseason game because no, they haven't played a preseason game. The Hall of Fame game is the preseason game to the preseason, right? That's not the week 1 of preseason starts tonight. Last week was like the preseason of the preseason, and it's like, and they're still getting guys dropping.
What's up there,
What's up,
Steve?
So I mean, Detroit's got issues, man, and if they keep on this track, they're not going to have anyone to put on the field by the end of the year. Like those guys you saw in the Hall of Fame game will be your starters by the end of the year in Detroit if it keeps going the way it's going.
Yeah.
Just crazy what's going on in Detroit, man. Injuries, like, oh God, it's just like they got to do something. They got to do something. I mean, something's up there. It must be the water from Flint.
It's opening up that division, though. The Lions don't have a stranglehold.
The Lions are the whole division's actually been kind of catching up to each other. I mean, they've all been ascending at different rates, but basically the same time. Because, like,
yeah, but last year didn't Detroit sweep the division or get close to it? Like they won weren't they like 5-1 in the division?
Yeah, they were 5-1 or 6-0, something like that. They the Bears and the Packers reached 1-5.
Yeah.
But I mean, the division is catching up.
I don't think that's happening.
And I still think that the division's passing the Packers in terms of talent until the Packers can either get some better draft picks via trade, move up in the draft and get those guys that, I mean, and once again, nothing against the Packers because what they're doing works. They get to the playoffs almost every year. They're just and they catch lightning in a bottle every so often and get to a Super Bowl with it. But I think the rest of the division, because of the draft capital they've had and the draft picks they've made and the free agents they're signing, have caught up to the Packers. So that's going to be interesting. The Packers are in this place right now where they're competitive in this division. They could still win the division, not saying they couldn't, but they could get passed by all three teams, which might not be the worst thing in the world for the Packers. And look at for the Packers, let's say the Packers fall to the basement this year. They win 8 games and fall to the basement. Not the worst way to be in the basement as an 8-game winner, and then pick in the top 15 and get that guy you've been needing to get, and then they'll be right back in it. So don't get me wrong when I say it. The way the Packers have built their team and do things, it works. They get to the playoffs every year, but they never get that over the topness where the other teams have done that. So we'll see what happens. But I think Detroit is going to could fall, especially with these injuries. And now let the Packers, the Bears, and the Vikings be right there. And anyone, I still say this division, flip a quarter, who's going to win it? All 4 teams could be right there. And all 4 teams have their own issues. All 4 teams do. They were 6-0 last year. I don't think that happens this year.
No.
Interesting fact last year, though. Guess who's got the best record against the Lions since Dan Campbell took over?
Yes, we know it's the Bears.
I did not realize that until JB said it last night, and we're 500 against them. Everyone else has a losing record against the Lions. I mean, that's like really. I was surprised by that. For as good as the Bears have been, tongue in cheek, I was surprised by that. I actually guessed that it was the Vikings who had the best record against them. But with the Packers, they're going to be good. For them, I mean, they did something good they haven't done. They drafted a receiver in the first round, great, but they never get that big impact. Those big impact early round guys is what I'm saying. And that's fine. I think they'll continue to be a good team. They'll continue to make the playoffs. And maybe they'll catch lightning in a bottle one year. But since 1970, this division has 3 rings. Since 1980, we have 5 Super Bowl appearances. So, I mean, the Packers have been the best of the worst for a long time, and it works. But right now, the rest of the division is caught up. And they're all signing big impact players. The Packers did get an impact player last year, but he made all his interceptions when a certain other guy was playing, and that guy's no longer on the roster. So
He made most of his interceptions, and we had 2 impact players. You can't undersell Josh Jacobs.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Josh Jacobs was impact. You're correct.
Uh-huh.
I was thinking just defensively. Lions have Old Shep and Johnny Morton idolized Saul as their DC to OC. Yeah, I mean, Luca, there's that. Look, I made that argument last week, and Packer fans got mad, but you're not wrong. They have a good quarterback. They have a really good head coach, a really good coaching staff. They maximize their players' potential, and it works for them. And there's nothing wrong with that. And every so often, they catch lightning in a bottle, and they make a really great run. There's nothing wrong with the Green Bay model. Nothing. It works for them. It makes playoffs. Oh, God. Don't remind me of that. Eberflus not calling a timeout. I still blame, but you know what? Look, as bad as that was, and on Eberflus, like, Caleb, dude, you're on the field. Just call a timeout.
That's what I was about to say. Like, that's when you got to step up as the quarterback and say, oh, my head coach is being a moron. I got the clock staring me right in the face.
Yeah. No, I agree. And that was some rookiness right there from Caleb. Hopefully that gets fixed. Cole Kmet got injured during practice. I haven't seen I haven't seen the wire on that one yet, believe it or not. Let me see if there's anything on it. Oh, he left practice due to a apparent injury, but initial reports suggest it may be minor. Okay. He exited Tuesday's training camp practice after suffering an injury during a physical session. Okay, they're like, he'll be playing this weekend. If he wanted to play, he could play this weekend. The bigger one is the Jalen Johnson injury for the Bears. Speaking of injuries, last year, coming into the season, I mean, you always argue for your head coach coming into the season to a degree. There's no debate. I mean, you said it yourself, Luke. His defense, when they fired him, you saw that defense went way down. Defensively, he's a great coach. He was a good coach. Offensively, no, and he had shitty OCs. Both his hires were shitty OCs. And the problem with him is, while he was Phil Jackson, the Zen guy, calm and relaxed, he had no Tex winners. He had no guy cracking the whip. And as that season played out last year, man, I mean, I knew he was going to go. I was surprised they did it when they did it, because that's not the way we do things in Chicago. We always wait until the end of the season. So Eberflus gets to be the first coach in Bears history to be fired during a season. So he gets that distinction. Vrabel brawling his players. But going back to Jalen Johnson, so that's the injury that I worry about. And they said, so it was, he can be on the list he's on because it didn't happen at a team practice. It happened during one of his own workouts. They're being coy about it. I still think, like we talked about the other day, Ken, like where you guys said, hey, we're going to do the surgery, miss camp, and be good. I think he's got a partial tear or a hamstring issue.
If it's a partial tear, it's so much better to get the freaking surgery.
Yeah.
Because it might heal, but it doesn't heal properly. I've had a couple partial tears in my life that I never got fixed like an idiot. And I still have problems with them to this day. Granted, it's not a constant thing, but when it flares up, it flares the fuck up.
Or, I mean, look, it could be one of several things. You have a partial tear, a hamstring issue if he's doing, if he was doing cardio stuff, or a muscle tear. Maybe he tore a pec lifting weights or something.
That's not a small injury if that's what it is.
No, but look at that's what I'm saying. And they're like, he's missing all of training camp. So how minor is it? And then yet when you listen to words like there's a path, the one quote was there's a path where he's ready for week 1. What do you mean there's a path? Right? That was my first time. When I heard who was it who said that? Was it Ben Johnson said I think it was Ben Johnson said there's a path where he's ready for week 1. I was like thinking immediately, wait a minute. Why are you saying there's a path?
All this sounds like is the shit with Jair Alexander, and it sounds like you guys are going to be dealing with this all year long now.
Oh yeah, Nicholas, without a doubt, that changed the entire season. Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing with Jalen; they're not saying anything, which is leading to all this wild speculation. But what got me was, listening to the words they say, and sometimes you get these little slips, and I think that was a little bit of a slip. It said there's a path. Like, what? Wait a minute. First it was he'll be back for week 1. Now it's a path.
Mm-hmm.
That's massive for the Bears if Jalen Johnson's out. If Cole Kmet's out, it's a big deal, but we drafted Loveland. Does it affect us? Yes, it does, but not as much as Jalen Johnson being out. Good morning, Josh. And that's the thing. I don't want him to be rushed back if it's whatever it is, JB. I mean, eventually, here's the thing. Like, eventually we're all going to find out what it was. So just freaking tell us now. I don't know why they play coy. Just tell us. Well, they don't want the Vikings to know whether he's going to be there or not. I get that. But, yeah, I'm worried about that. As a Bears fan, I'm worried about Jalen right now. I'm worried about Jalen. Not worried about Cole Kmet. We'll be fine with that. And for the Lions, I'm worried about them, man. I think they're the injury train. Yeah, it's been an interesting offseason. But, hey, we get games. Who plays tonight?
Hold on. It is the Colt. You got the Colts and Ravens, Bengals and Eagles, Raiders and Seahawks, and that's it for today.
Ooh, we get the Raiders game to watch tonight.
And I think that one might be on NFL Network.
Yeah, the Bears are at noon Central on NFL Network, so don't forget Sunday morning before you watch the Bears preseason game against the Miami Dolphins to watch the House Hall Report. We'll be doing the pregame. Going back to the Bears real quick, that bum, Tyreek Stevenson, should have been released the very next day. Look, at Tyreek Stevenson's on a rookie deal. This was his second year last year. You don't release a kid with as much potential as he has.
Joe, it will be on NFL Network at 10 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, no, JB, got it. But what we're saying is you have another guy who just left for surgery who's missing significant time, right? Rackstraw is doing shoulder surgery and going to be missing a lot of time. This injury carousel in Detroit is getting ridiculous. It's not normal. What is wrong with your strength and conditioning coach in Detroit? And I'm not meaning this in a trash talky kind of way or any way. I mean legit. Like, you guys have a higher injury rate than any other team in the NFL right now. Something's not right there. It's a gladiator sport. We get it. Injuries are going to happen. But, dude, you guys have been prolific. How many times, JB, do you have to sit there and defend injuries and guys coming back from injuries? Think about that. You have to do it almost every week. It doesn't matter. It's another guy leaving. Like, stop downplaying these injuries, JB. There's an issue in Detroit. Honestly, there is an issue in Detroit that needs to be looked at. I think it's a strength and conditioning coach. Something's not right there. And I think that could be a problem for you guys going forward. I hope I'm wrong. The week 5, look, I got the same bye. I hate it. But
yeah, I'm not a fan of it either. I'd much rather have the late bye week.
I hate that bye, but the last time the Bears had the week 5 bye, guess what happened? They won the division. I don't know. We'll see. But some good games tonight. See, I'll be watching the Raiders tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just want to see if they let Genty run a little bit.
Well, I think you'll get like what's his name from the Chargers last week? He got 1 series. I think Genty gets a series, maybe 2 at most.
Mm-hmm.
Because like most teams will let their starters play a series or 2 week 1, and then a series or 2 in week 2, and then nothing at all in week 3. So I think you'll see Genty tonight, and he'll get a couple touches. What's his name from the Chargers? Amari
Hampton.
Hampton.
Yep.
Hampton got probably 3 or 4 touches last week, and then he was out.
Yeah, I just want to see Genty get 3 or 4 touches. I want to see what he can do.
Yeah, and look at JB. That's legit, right? That's legit. Shortened workouts, less preseason games, not playing starters. I think but that's everyone in the NFL's got that, and their injury numbers aren't nearly as prolific as Detroit's. You're 100% correct with what you just said, though. That's definitely contributing, but that's contributing to all 32 teams. Why do the Lions have such a high injury rate? Genty fumble.
Oh, man.
I was going to say, he's got a point. They shouldn't be at the bottom of the division.
They shouldn't. I agree with that.
But you got to
Except that the AFC West might be the best division in football this year.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about the 2 of the most contested divisions in football this year could be the NFC North and the AFC West could be the 2 most contested divisions in football this year.
Yeah, because Denver's getting better. Kansas City's still Kansas City. The Chargers are looking like they're going to be good, and the Raiders are the question mark.
I mean, JB, you're 100% right. League wide, it's up, but you guys have more injuries in the league. You're that 45% number. You're contributing more to that number than Chicago, than Vegas, than Green Bay, than Miami, even with Tua stumbling around with concussions, right? You guys have more guys. I mean, dude, last year, how many guys did you have in the IR? I'm just saying, it's not that you guys can't win with guys going on the IR, because obviously you did it last year. But your injury rate is higher than everyone else, and you're right. Your arguments are 100% correct. That's part of why they're up. But the other thing, though, if I'm looking at Detroit individually, you might want to look at your strength and conditioning program. I mean, Ken said the Packers had that same issue, and they went out. The Bears had that issue a couple years ago, and then we went and made a change. Yeah, I mean, amazing. I wonder if that's going to be the story again this year. But
it's not off to a good start.
No, I mean, I think the arguments that were made by the NFLPA and everyone else about these shortened practices, no more 2-a-days, can't wear pads as much, coaches not playing starters in the preseason. I think it's all leading to all these higher injury rates. Back in the old days, oh yeah, but we might lose our stud guy for the season with a torn ACL by playing in a preseason game. And so now you lose him in week 1 instead.
Mm-hmm.
What's changed? Their defense was really good last year.
Yeah, but I mean, what do you mean by they're going to be trouble? Are you're saying Tennessee's going to make the playoffs? You're saying they're going to make a run? That's pretty bold. I do think Tennessee is going to be better. I like Cam Ward. I've actually been saying for months that I like Cam Ward and I think he could be something. But they're so bereft of talent offensively that it's pretty much the Cam Ward show, dude. So you expect him to win 10 games by himself?
Well, Tennessee is another Cleveland and Vegas in a certain way, and there's different tiers of that. I think Vegas is the top of that tier, and shout out to Motown Mitch. They're at the top of that tier because they've got better offensive pieces overall, but they're in that same boat. Last year, their defense was the number 1 defense in the league through week 5 or 6, something like that, and their offense was just prolifically bad. Right, and I think they're in the same boat. The question is, for Tennessee, is Cam Ward the answer so that they win? Making Cam Ward their quarterback get them a few more wins, or better yet, keep that defense off the field a little bit more than last year, because last year that defense was phenomenal and just got beat the hell down. You know, they were on the field so much. They were the number one defense for like week 6, 7, 8, something like that. Some ridiculous number. And people are like, really? But they suck. That team sucks, but their defense was awesome. And then by the end of the year, their defense just kind of fell apart because, hell, they were on the field so damn much. Of course they wore down.
We're talking about Tennessee
A lot
right
of
now.
topics so far.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Unless Cam Ward can throw the ball to himself, I really don't see them being that successful.
Well, hey, Brett Favre did it. There's no reason he can't do it too.
But I do think that their win total from last year should go up. Like with Cam Ward, I think he's good for a couple wins himself.
I think if he keeps that defense off the field, if he can stop, you know, he doesn't need to have all these long drives, but stop the 3 and outs and give that defense a rest, and they'll definitely be a lot more competitive team that way. Like, that's the other thing about some of these teams. If you got a really good defense, like even with Cleveland, like all they need their offense to do is not go 3 and out every time, right? Give me 5, 6 plays and out, and okay, fine, I can live with that. Stop going 3 and out in short fields. You know, get a first down, gain 20 yards, and punt the ball away so it's not a short field every time. I think the defense can live with that a lot better than 3 and out in shorter fields.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that's the key. That's all you need, right? And then it's great if you can put up points, but sometimes your defense, if you got a great defense like Tennessee does, so like Cleveland does, sometimes they get you that short field where your offense can get lucky and put up a field goal. And that's all you need, or a touchdown. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What week was that, JB? That was late. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but look at even with Cleveland, though, what time again?
I was going to say, if you even say that name, no.
I was going to say the name.
We can get the Shaduki.
I know you were.
We'll get the Shaduki tomorrow. But I mean, look at like even with Cleveland though, like Cleveland, same thing. All Cleveland's defense is asking that offense to do is don't go 3 and out and give them short fields. Get us a 6-play rest and gain 10, 15 yards, and don't keep giving them short fields. That's all. And then we maybe will create a deal, something.
Now I know how Shaduki's going to be able to get to be the starting quarterback. Peter Griffin's going to jump into a full song and dance for him.
Oh God! No, a whole different scenario. That whole team's in. Their highest players is a gadget guy, who I really like, but he's their highest paid player right now. Oh, Jags and
Jags. I'm going to give them. They're the mystery team.
Yeah, week 8 was when the Titans lost their number 1 ranking for defense.
Let's be honest, dude. Tennessee is not going to overtake Houston for that division. Like, I'm sorry. And the Jags are the mystery box. Like,
yeah, they are. They could be a really good team, but they could be really shitty.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious how Travis Hunter works out for them. I mean, you gave up so much for him. Like, you know, at this point, I really hope he works out for you. But I'm curious how they're going to use him. Are they going to let him play both ways? Like,
they are.
At least have some packages as a receiver?
Yeah, the way it's looking right now, he's going to play both ways, and that's great news for Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
I see why he's on the other account today, so he doesn't get, shadow banned from his main account.
The band hammer.
Yeah, I get it.
Jaguars is pretty good, though.
That's funny. Well, guys, we got games tonight, so watch games. It's a Thursday night. We'll be back here tomorrow morning, hopefully talking about some of the games and maybe Shaduki and or Tupac. Some like to call him Tupac Sanders, and some of the other teams. Great discussion. Thank you, everyone, in the comments this morning. Thank you, everyone. Of course, Ken and Joe being on with me every morning is a blast. We have a lot of fun doing this. And hey, Ken's a committed man now. What? We're gonna say that he's making commitments. That's what I'm talking about. We'll be back here tomorrow. I've got 8 seconds before King Smacks. The show will be too long from the post on the network. Don't forget to download the Huddle Sports app on Roku and Fire TV. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Enjoy the games tonight. Bye-bye, everyone.